So let's talk about the perfect e-commerce utility page that gets results inside of the perfect e-commerce site experience. We're continuing our perfect site series here. And what is a utility page? These are pages. These are pages on your site that help customers make decisions. So they take many forms, right? These could be pages like sizing pages or quizzes that help you decide on a product, or product finders. These are all utility pages. But the goal here is that these pages contain information and tools that help users quickly make decisions rather than leave your experience. And that's why they're so critical. Now, what's the purpose of an e-commerce utility page? So the purpose is to help someone make a quick decision, to solve a problem, maybe to answer a question, so that they can confidently continue. And these pages take many forms. They inherently depend on your product type. And so we're going to give some examples here. But depending on your product, the goal of this post is to help you start thinking about, do you need utility pages that you don't have, or have you optimized them, right? These could be sizing pages. They could be product finders. If you have a complex product line, then we want to make sure we get people to the right product as fast as possible. So little quizzes and things. Those are all utility pages, and they help people make quick decisions so that you can, and the faster the decisions that they can make, the more likely they are to purchase. And so the main thing to remember is that these pages need to be quick and easy and give an answer very fast, give someone confidence to make a decision. And so that's what a utility page is. Let's look at the page structure. Now, we know that the page structure of these pages will vary based on what the utility page is. But the general structure does have some intention. I want to walk through that really quickly, even if some items are obvious. Now, obviously, we have a header for our site. Then we may have some sort of intro. We want to make sure that people clearly understand the value of this page, why they should spend time here, or why they are here. They may have come here from the product detail page. They may have come here from a different selling experience. And we want to make sure they quickly understand what this page is, what they have to do. And then we want to quickly, as fast as possible, get them back into the selling experience. So after that intro, then we have the actual tool, right? So this tool might be a little form, could be a product chooser, it could be a PDF printout, although I wouldn't recommend that. It could be a quiz, or it could just be information, right? It could be a sizing grid, and that couldn't be put on a product detail page, or another type of information based on your product that's critical for someone making a decision. The key is, again, making sure that it's quick and easy, especially on mobile. Now, when it comes to mobile, a lot of times, some of these forms, some of these quizzes, some of these types of things will be embedded on the pages in the form of something technical called an iframe. When that happens, sometimes the customer experience is not very good. And sometimes on mobile, it gets even worse. And so be really careful about that. Make sure that, if there's an iframe for some sort of tool that you built, make sure that it works really, really well. It's not frustrating. So that tool is obviously the main part of the page. But then let's make sure that we have products underneath that. Okay, we always want to be selling. And, this section may or may not be relevant, having a grid of products, because your finder, your tool, your utility might actually get someone into the products that they want. So this is optional, but it may not. The point is, we need to make sure that we get someone back into the product selling experience as quickly as possible. And this could even be as simple as a call to action that gets them back to the product they were looking at when they hit this page because they had a question that they needed answering. Then after that product selling experience, that CTA, let's make sure we have some customer service areas down here. This could be a chat. This could be a ticket. This could be an email, etc. But we want to make sure that people are coming here with a question that needs answering. And, if they don't get it answered, we want to try and answer it for them, lest they move on and leave our site. And so let's try and make sure that they can easily escalate it if they didn't find their answer. Maybe it could be a multitude of reasons, but we want to make sure that they can reach out to a human because they're here because they want your product, and let's not lose that sale. Then underneath that, we want to have our brand elements, the de-risking factors that reinforce trust. We want that on most of these pages. And so those could be certain trust badges or visuals. Those could be certain like things like reviews, which are really powerful to just keep reinforcing throughout the experience. They could be accolades. They could be things like a great warranty that you have related to your brand that you want to make sure is reinforced throughout the experience. These are places for that. And then of course you have your site footer. And so it's a simple structure, but it's something that should be talked about and does have some intention. And there are a couple examples of people doing this right that we'll kind of put in the article. But Groove Life is an active apparel brand, and they create different products like silicone rings and belts for the adventure lifestyle. And so a lot of their products have a need for a size, like a ring. How do you choose a ring size? And so they have a great utility page called their ring sizer, and they size, you can go in there, you can take a little fun quiz if you want to make it kind of fun and humorous to choose your ring. And then even if you don't get the right size, they say, hey, look, don't worry. If it's the wrong size, we'll send you a new one for free. And so they kind of lower the risk, even though they can't take it away completely. Another company of ours is The Good Kitchen, and they sell meals. And it's a meal subscription program. And so in order to figure out what meals you might want, they make you go through a little questionnaire. It's a product finder that then shows you the various meals that might be good for you. And then you can choose those and check out with them. And so those are two examples, but you may have a simpler product that still could use some help in answering questions that customers have and making that sale easier. And so think about, any question that is unanswered lowers the likelihood that person will check out and that person will purchase. And so you want to think of creative ways, and if there are any utilities in your business and your e-commerce site that should be created to help answer those questions quickly and increase that conversion rate. And so let's quickly just talk about how we measure the effectiveness of any utility page. The first way to measure it is by exit rate. If people are coming here and then exiting your site, that is a bad sign. That likely means that we have not answered that question and we have not given them the confidence to continue on. And so we want that exit rate to be small, right? This utility page should have a high likelihood to go back into the selling experience. So that comes to the second metric, which is click-through rate to a product page, right? We want to make sure that you can quickly get a click-through rate to a product page. And if we measure that, the higher that click-through rate, the better this utility page is actually functioning. And ultimately, conversion rate, of course, on our website, but conversion rate when this page is within the experience is the one you want to look at. And then lastly, time on page. Now, this should be small. They shouldn't have to spend a ton of time on page. But a low time on page with a low exit rate and a high click-through rate is really good. High time on page with a high exit rate is bad. And so these all kind of work together. But to wrap this up, look, utility pages are something that often are overlooked. And they're often put to the side, and they're often not optimized. And sometimes they're often not even thought about, but they can really be pivotal in their effect on your business. Because if your business if you have products that have questions that need to be answered, maybe a tool is something that you need to create. And so sometimes they aren't needed in the experience, but they should be in the experience. And they can improve it. And so look, if you'd like to increase your e-commerce conversion rate and the value of your business, come reach out to us. We'd love to help.